Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan Perez, and here I'll be going over our TinkerCAD circuit and code for the Trunky robot. Just a quick overview here. We have the algorithm as well as the component list. So moving on to the circuit, here we have the code. So I'll just scroll through this real quickly so you can see. And there we go. We'll start the simulation. These EC motors will serve as the wheel tracks. So if you can see here, they're actually moving at the same speed, but one's negative, one's positive. The reason for this is that they'll be facing opposite directions. So in order to have the Trunky robot move forward, they'll have to spin in opposite directions. Otherwise, if they were going in the same direction, the robot would just be spinning in a 360-degree motion. To keep our robot aligned on a path, we have these IR sensors located here, one for the right, one for the left. These will track a pre-installed path of reflective tape, and it'll detect light intensity from this tape. So as it loses a certain amount, that will initialize this tilt sensor, which will alter the power supplied to our motors. Um, Depending on which sensor is losing light intensity, will alter the designated motor to realign it onto the path of this reflective tape and set it back to its original speed. The front ultrasonic sensor will detect the distance to the trunk of the car. So as it's moving closer, once it reaches 30 centimeters, we'll note a change here. So the motors here are completely stopped, leaving the robot to be stationary, and this servo joint actually initializes. So it'll move towards the pre uh, designated area of the trunk. So depending on the trunk there, it'll move to that position and start picking up the grocery bags. Once that grocery bag is lifted off the air, the weight of the handle will initiate this button, which is located on the gripper. So if we hit this, the actual arm, its servo joint arm, will move back to its original position, placing the grocery bag in the container located on the robot. So it'll do that, and as it's loading up more and more weight, this flex sensor located on the container will start to bend down with more weight. Once it's reached its max load, the last grocery bag the servo joint picks lifts up the grocery bag. It'll initialize a reverse feature. So we click that. Now we see these are opposites. This light is turned on, indicating that it's reversing for the taillights, as well as projecting a signal to our next robot. As the Trunky robot starts to get closer to its designated area, reaching 30 centimeters or so, it'll cut off the DC motors and turn off that to initialize the next step of transporting the groceries.